gossiping. It's all the bullshit. Oh, you doing that. It's either or. You cannot. I mean, you can't serve two masters, and that's what that means too. There we go, another wise crow, fully loaded one. You see, again, when we talking about, there was another statement too. I don't want to get too much ahead of myself here, but I guess that is worth mentioning since we're talking about that. When I guess Jesus was talking about, um, to live by the Spirit and not to live by your flesh. See, a lot of these things, they're all fully loaded statement that has been misunderstood about people. Quite often, when people are talking about living by the flesh, they're looking at fucking, partying, and all that kind of shit. That's not what the fuck that shit means. That may well be part of it too. But the flesh means you are living based on the external shit. This is you going to school. The only purpose in life is your fucking accomplishment. Those are external shit. Meanwhile, you're not concerned with the spirit that resides in you. That's when you worshiping idols. That's when now you keeping up with the Joneses. That's what that shit is. That's exactly what that shit is. And when you're living by the flesh, meaning for the external bullshit, you identify yourself with that, then there's a whole world that's been created. And that's the society that you're living in. That's Democrat, Republican, that's you and your colleges, that's you, let's just say certain degree. That's how you look at other people. The first question that comes out of your mouth for you to get to know somebody, what do you do? What do you do? You know what I'm saying? Oh, you're a doctor. Okay, this nigga doing good. Oh wow. Oh wow. So again, what we're saying here, and that's what, like you have to even mythology, because a lot of our ancestors, we use mythology, we know what we're doing. That's why a lot of the stories, they are copied from our original shit. And the idea of us putting these things in writing, or the narrative behind mythology or all of those creation story, is to make it relevant to you so you can live it, so you can relate to it, because we understand out of sight, out of mind. That's the purpose of having this. See, this represents something. So when you have it next to you, so what you're doing is you're taking that out of the darkness, you bring it into the light. So it's taking the form of this. But what this is really talking about is life. Death is life. It's transformation. There's no growth without death. Without death. So death should always be part of your life. So again, I feel like a lot of people got lost into the symbols. You looking to debate these things on the physical, but you're not looking at the bigger picture. The bigger picture, just like I'm saying, having Jesus, and here's something else. Jesus had long hair. The idea of Jesus having long hair is that he embodied his feminine aspect. Although as a man, he was a holy being, a perfect being, not flawless, but a perfect being, because both his masculine and his feminine were actually in harmony. So as a man, he could be a man, but also have compassion. That's what the fuck that means. See, as a man, although the intellect is the thing that I go by, but I also go by my intuition. In fact, the movie The Woman King, that's what this shit was about. When I watched it the first time, I kind of missed the point. See, this woman that became her king or that become the king, he was not fucking with her. He was not sleeping with her. You don't fuck your intuition. But yet, that's why there's other women were jealous, were actually jealous of her because she represented that nigga intuition. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? And at the end of the movie, they sat together as a king. Whenever you see kingdom or they talking about king, this is you mastering your house, your home. This here, this is your kingdom. He respected her. And I mean, because without our fucking intuition, so like that's why for me, I could tell you I'm a divine feminine. Has nothing to do with dick and pussy. But anyway, to summarize, we're gonna leave it there. To make a long story short, being the salt and the light of the world, essentially it's a fully loaded statement. And what this is talking about is that you being you and the importance of you being you. Because we all matters, for lack of a better term. Black Lives Matter, everybody matters, for lack of a better term. I'm not getting into that kind of bullshit, or I shouldn't call it bullshit, but I'm just saying, what okay, that was a joke. That was a joke. I'm gonna leave it right then and there. But ultimately, it's understand if you are of no use to I mean, how useful are you if you're not using you? So you not losing your flavor. This is not you not knowing who you are. This is you not being in touch with who you are. In other words, this is you not truly living. So again, like that's a fully loaded statement. And the whole Jesus thing, I hope you guys could understand, it's not just about the person. It has to be done that way, just so you can relate to it. And that was the idea of our ancestors, when we talk about Horus, Osiris. So we pretty much materialize those archetypes, if you want to call it that way. But now you got to understand the idea of materialize it. But we're also saying, it's like this is for the living. But anyway, I'm gonna leave it there. I hope I was able. I mean, you were able to get something positive out of this, to understand that you are, when we're talking about being the salt of the earth, this is everybody's responsibility. In other words, for you to become you, for you to exercise. And again, if you're not, I mean, how useful are you if you're not you? We're going to leave it there. I sent. Bra. Ali.